My freshman year, I was thrown into the fire. I was playing like 37 minutes a game at the 2 spot. We had another point guard, Jason Richards, who was 2 years older than me and was like our best player at the time, and was like the steady guy, the steady hand. I got to learn from him. That next year, my sophomore year, kind of just took off. We had guys that knew their role. Everybody, came selfless, did what they supposed to do. We were 2-6 in the first 8 games and playing those teams I was talking about, and we took that, learned from it, put it in our back pocket, got to the tournament, and then we started beating everybody. And so it's just a confidence that you got to know that you can play with the best. It's not you get labeled that mid-major,
right.
D1, whatever. That's just just the history of it.
Right.
There's not going to talk about what we're about to do this year.
True.
And whatever. And so you got, like you said, Dame, CJ, Ja, you can name them. There's guys that just want an opportunity to play, and they got the talent, they got the skill, they got that killer instinct, and now more and more guys are showing it in the league too.
It's funny you mentioned confidence, because the 3 other guys you named besides yourself, they all carry themselves with high confidence, and I think it's kind of probably like that chip on my shoulder. Like, I don't give a fuck that I came from a mid-major. I'm still a killer out here.
Exactly.
Davidson had 2 really good runs in the tournament when Steph Curry was there. They had a really exciting team, put up a whole lot of points. They had a whole lot of 3-point shooters. It wasn't just Steph Curry that was knocking down shots. They had a lot of shooters on their team. Very fun team to watch. And man, they made 2 really deep runs in the tournament from a mid-major, so that was pretty big at that time. Not too many mid-majors was making deep runs in the tournament, especially in back-to-back years. But that was a very good team, a very fun team to watch. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. What up, though? My name is Kevin Melson with Beyond Your Limits, and in this video here we got Stephen Curry on the All the Smoke podcast. He's talking about how he was thrown right in the fire as a freshman, got to play a lot of minutes, get a lot of experience as a freshman, and that's something that I want to point out to you guys, is that the school that you choose to go to plays a big factor in your career later on, your career at the school and later on after school. Because if Steph Curry went to, say, a major school like a Duke or something like that, being such a low-rated recruit as he was coming out of high school, he probably wouldn't have got that many minutes. And when he would have got in the game, he wouldn't have had the freedom to do the things that he did at Davidson. They would have probably put him in a corner as a spot-up shooter, try to hide him on defense and things like that. He probably wouldn't have ran the offense, probably wouldn't have been the point guard, and probably wouldn't have played that many minutes if he went to like a Duke or a Kentucky or a school like that. And so it was a kind of a blessing in disguise that he didn't get recruited by those big schools, and that he went to Davidson, because it gave him a lot of freedom to do things that he wouldn't have been able to do at a larger school, and it also built his confidence. When you're allowed to take these, deep threes and shoot a whole bunch of threes and shoot a whole bunch of shots, that builds your confidence up, especially when you're making them Steph Curry is obviously a great shooter, and so if you're shooting a lot of shots, a lot of them gonna go in. You're gonna have a high scoring average, and that's just gonna build in your confidence, and you're gonna be able to ride that wave. So you want to be real cautious and careful with the school that you choose. Do they play the style of play that you like to play? Will you get an opportunity to play? Is the coach looking for you to come in and play big minutes? Things like that matter. I know a lot of people just try to go to the biggest school as possible, the biggest names, so they can say that I go to this school and something like that. But a lot of the times that's not the best option for you. You want to choose the right coach, the right situation for your game that's going to allow you to flourish and allow you to have success at that school. Steph Curry also talked about how they played a lot of major schools early in the season and lost. I think he said they were like 2-6 because they were playing big schools with them being a mid-major, and they took that experience. And so when the tournament came around, they had already seen all these big schools, so they wasn't fearing anybody by the time the tournament came. And that's a big thing for a mid-major school, because a lot of mid-major schools lose those games to the bigger schools just off of experience, not knowing what to expect. You know, these big schools are built up by the media as being so great, and so when you're a mid-major and you've only been playing mid-majors, you know, you don't know what to expect when you come up against a big school. And so with myself playing at a mid-major, we end up actually beating Michigan State the year that Michigan State won it with Mateen Cleaves and all those guys. But really, the biggest difference from a mid-major to a major school, in my opinion, is the big guys. I mean, the mid-major guards that we played against were just as good as the major school guards that we played against. The big difference was the big fellas, the centers and power forwards. In mid-major, you either got a really skilled power forward center, but he's undersized. He's like 6'5", but he's really good, but he's a center at like 6'5". Or they got a center that's 7 feet tall, and he can't do nothing. He can barely get up and down the court. But at those major schools, man, they have big guys that's 7 foot and they can play. And so I think that was the biggest difference as far as mid-majors to a major school, is the big fellas at a major school, they're tall and they can play. And at a mid-major, they either one or the other. And that's like the biggest difference I seen while I was playing. Just also, I wanted to point out to you guys that once Davidson played all these major schools and stuff, they got it out of their system. They seen that they could play with these schools, even though they weren't winning those games. When it came time for the tournament time, they already played these big schools and they were ready. They knew they could play with them, and they knew things that they could do that would work, and that worked out to their favor in the tournament. Their confidence was up. I'm sure they wiped up the floor with their competition in the conference. They won a lot of games, and so they were already feeling good coming into the tournament. And you know, once your confidence is up, you know, anything can happen. So get your confidence up by clicking one of them links in the description, the link in the bio. Every link in there is something that'll help you out tremendously on your basketball journey. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out.